Quick hitter here about the Nintendo Switch 2. We've got comments in live streams in the comment section on the channel. Do you guys have a Switch 2 yet? And we do.
Yep.
What do you guys think of the Switch 2?
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, we both have one. There's a lot of, I don't know if you want to say controversy. It's hard to tell what is controversy and what is not on the internet nowadays because everybody bitches about everything.
Yep.
But we figured, not that we cover a lot of modern stuff on the channel, but what are our thoughts so far as we're, what, a month in?
We're 2 months in.
Okay, 2 months in.
It came out at the beginning of June, and we're filming this at the beginning of August, so I don't know when you guys are seeing this, but the Switch 2 has been out for 2 months.
Yeah.
We both got it at launch. It's the first console I've ever gotten at launch.
Me
too.
too.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
That's, aside from anything else, that's really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that's so exciting because like a lot of people have stories of like waiting in line for like PS2s and all this stuff, but I never did that. I was always late to the scene for consoles, so it's so fun getting a new toy when it comes out.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
So that part was really awesome.
Yeah, and I think people have to put things, in perspective. First and foremost, from Nintendo's standpoint, the console's performing well. I think it's outpacing the Switch's sales up to this point.
Damn, that's wild.
It's been doing a fantastic job. I think Nintendo did a way better job of making the console more available, so it wasn't like a scalper's market type of thing. So there's a good touche for them. And I know this wasn't a launch title, but I'm gonna kind of consider it one. When you think about we're 2 months in, and we for sure have 2 titles.
Yeah, we have 2 exclusives so far.
That are fully on the cartridge.
Yeah.
Okay, so that puts to bed some of the key card stuff as far as these 2 games in Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza that are going to be relevant, I think, for the life cycle of the console. They're fantastic.
These are 2 games that we both have and we've both been playing. I've been obsessed with Donkey Kong lately.
Yeah.
It's so fun. And these are games that are going to be played and talked about the entire life cycle.
Yeah.
Like, dude, Mario Kart World is so fun. And it's a Mario Kart game. So it's like, even if we 100% it, which we're going to get all golds and everything, we're still going to be playing it because you can play it online, you can play it with friends. I love the different characters. Like, you can race as a cow. That's so fun.
Well, and with if they follow the same trajectory they did with 8, I mean, this is going to be around for a while. There's going to be a lot of extra content.
Yeah, they're going to add. They're going to add more maps. They're going to add more characters. There's already different costumes for stuff. I know people are bitching about it, but I'm like, dude, it's all new maps.
Yeah.
It's I don't see anything wrong with it. I'm glad it wasn't strictly open world.
Yeah.
Like, so you can do normal cup systems, which is so fun. Mario Kart World is such a blast.
No, it is, and I think people have a hard time, thinking that the game was going to pick up and have everything that 8 has in it and beyond.
8 was out for like freaking
10 years,
10
probably?
years,
I don't know.
Then they were still like freaking 8 years in adding new track. Like, it takes, these types of games take time.
It bridged the gap of 2 consoles. It's a Wii U game.
Yeah.
And then it still was around for the entire duration of the Switch. So do I feel like it's hyper necessary that I have a Switch 2? Would I tell someone watching or a friend on the street that you have to go buy one? No, I wouldn't, because I still find myself playing the NES more than I play the Switch 2. But I am glad I have it.
Yes.
And I've had a lot of fun with it. Between the Mario Kart, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Cyberpunk, which I never got around to.
Yeah, so that's another cool thing about the Switch 2 is Cyberpunk 2077, I think it is. That game was a mess when it came out. A lot of people crapped on it. But now, the full game, fully fixed, fully updated, is on the cartridge, I'm pretty sure, for the Switch 2. So if you never got around to playing it, which I haven't played it, you can get it, and then long-term collectability with that, it's on the cartridge. I think that's the best way to play Cyberpunk. Yeah,
for sure. It's unique. It's just unique to see the uproar, if you will, but it's still selling. It's still moving units. I do understand a little bit of the folks that are like, well, this feels like a Switch Pro and all that. And I'm like, yeah, I get that and I hear that.
It does a little bit.
We also got to understand that for quite some time now, new consoles, we're running up to a point of diminishing returns.
Yeah, we haven't. Yeah, all the new consoles feel like pros. Like, ever since the Xbox One, every version of the Xbox past that, I get confused by the names, I get confused by everything, and it just feels like a little bit better than the last one. And then, like, the PS5 is like, okay, it's a little bit better than the PS4. We have a PS5, I love it, but it's...
Well,
it's just slightly better.
I feel like people are maybe not realizing that we're never again going to see those leaps like we saw from Super Nintendo to N64 or PS1 or PS1 to PS2. I mean, those days are gone.
Yeah,
the last huge leap like that was either PS1 to PS2 or PS2 to PS3.
Yes. Even PS2 to PS3. I mean, there are some games where it's like that's a big jump, but it still is like, okay, we're getting a little bit better. And then PS3 and PS4, you could pop in a PS3 game and walk in the room and be like, damn, this looks great. What are you playing? Oh, the PS3, you know? So so we're never going to get there unless they release a console that's super user friendly, that's like VR. That's the only way we're gonna like, because there's no way graphically because it's just slowly being like, oh, now it's in 4K, now it's in 5K, now it's in 6K. It's like, cool.
I mean, I think when you stack up what I am calling launch titles, and you look at Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, and I know you don't have to say in the comments that Donkey Kong Bonanza wasn't a launch title, but for all intents and purposes, it's out in the first couple months of the console's launch. And you compare that, like, I know quantity-wise, there's obviously more games, but those are the needle movers. And when you look back at other launches, the Switch had Breath of the Wild, which was freaking huge.
Yeah, that was huge, but it was a port.
It was a Wii U game.
It was a Wii U game
that they had worked on for a long time.
It was already built.
Not taking away anything from that, but to get two mainline Nintendo games that are going to be around for a while that are really freaking good.
DK Bonanza, I am having a blast with. I'm working on 100%.
I've seen people complaining about that. It's like, what is Nintendo supposed to do, guys?
My only complaint with Donkey Kong Bonanza is I'm having, dude, I literally, any free second I have, I'm playing it either in handheld mode. Like, I got home from work last night at 3 a.m. And I can't go straight to bed. I was in bed playing Donkey Kong Bonanza for like 30 minutes before I went to bed. I found a few bananas. But it's like the only complaint I have about the game is that it's a little bit easy. Like some of the boss fights and all this stuff is a little bit, like, I've one-take headed them. You know, I got through them. But the game is just like a nice, relaxing. You can walk around, you can destroy stuff. So having easy bosses kind of fits the style of the game. Like, obviously I do like a challenge and stuff like that, but it's kind of fun to just be like, oh yeah, I'm just kind of moseying my way through this game.
And a lot of the stuff that I see as complaints in that, it's like, guys, this has been happening for a while. Like, we can't be surprised that there are key cards. We can't be surprised that there's codes in boxes. The industry is moving in this direction. At least a Switch wasn't released that played no physical media. And I'm not sticking up for that. I think all that stuff's annoying. I'm not going to buy a key card game. I just won't. I will not buy a code in the box game.
It's so dumb.
I just won't. What will my collection ultimately look like for this? If it's on the cartridge and it's a Nintendo game, that's probably all I'm going to get.
It's probably,
But I'm fine with that. I can live with that. The other thing I did want to bring up that I think is going to be huge is the GameCube Nintendo Switch online functionality.
It's still really bare bones right now.
Yes, it is. And there are certain things. Again, I don't think this is Nintendo's fault. Mario Strikers fans, if you've played it and you don't know, then you just don't know. You're just having fun. Major input lag when trying to do the special goals. It almost is impossible to hit.
Which is so frustrating because that's the whole point of the game. Like, Mario Strikers is one of my favorite games of all time. I hate soccer and I love Strikers. And when they said they were going to have the GameCube app, I was like, oh, hell yeah, this is incredible because you got everything else, N64, NES, Super, like all this stuff, and then you got the GameCube app. And then they were like, oh, one of the first couple games that we're going to launch is Strikers. I'm like, yes! Strikers is amazing. The Wii one is fine. The one on the Switch is fine. The first one is incredible. And then when I played it, I was like, guys, come on. Like, I was like...
It's a little bit better in handheld mode, but I think there's going to be some buffing out that they need to do.
I hope they patch it or fix it.
That is my problem with just emulation as a whole. I just worry that there is some kid who has never played the GameCube version that's going to fire it up on his Switch 2 and be like, well, this game sucks. And it doesn't. It's just a poor emulated version of the game.
Which does suck.
All in all, it will. I think they'll get it buffed out. I think it's going to be really cool to have GameCube games on the go.
It's been out for 2 months, and it's already. I mean, it is small, like the exclusives especially, but like some of the exclusives they have announced, like there's a new Kirby game coming. There's a new Pokemon Hyrule game coming. Like, and I'm sure there's going to be a new Mario game. I'm sure
Metroid Prime 4 is on the. Maybe you said that. Metroid
Prime 4. That's going to be that is going to be the turning point in the console. Like when they release Metroid Prime 4 or like a new Zelda game or a new Mario game, I think then that's when sales are going to really go. I mean, obviously it's doing very well right now, and I'm loving it. I think the Switch 2 is phenomenal, and I think they did a great job of really separating it from the original Switch, because when they announced it was going to be called the Switch 2, I was like, Nintendo, didn't you learn your lesson from the Wii U?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? It's the Wii U. People are going to get confused. But I feel like nowadays people aren't confused. Like, I feel like it makes sense. It's just
it does. No, and I think they've done a fine job. Would it have been cool to have something completely different? For sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
Do I regret the purchase? Absolutely not. Am I happy I have one? Yes. I do think if you're watching this and just like, it's okay to wait.
Yeah, I think
I've done that my whole life with every console I've ever had.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's kind of nice to be like a generation behind, because then you can, when you do scoop in and get it, you can get a lot of games, you can pick up a lot of exclusives, you can get them for cheaper, you can do all this stuff, and at that point, if you wait, you'll be able to get like, a Pro controller. So I'm really waiting for a Nintendo exclusive Pro controller. The Joy-Cons, I will say, are better.
The Pro controller's dope, but it's just expensive.
Yeah, it's very expensive, but the Joy-Cons are better than the Switch One, and I played it in handheld a lot. The screen's bigger, the screen looks gorgeous, but I still want a better controller. But what's really nice, if you have a Switch 2 and you have a regular Switch, is I've been using my Pro controller from my Switch 1 on my Switch 2, and it works phenomenal. So that's really nice.
I do want the Switch 2 Pro controller.
Yeah.
But I don't really want to spend, what is it, $80, $90 for one?
When the first one works.
When the first one works on it. Now, when I find one in the wild sometime or get a good deal, I will for sure do it, because I've heard it's a great controller. But damn, the Switch 1 Pro controller's dope.
It's dope. So I really like that you can connect all the old Switch stuff to it. It also, like the GameCube adapter that we have, works on it phenomenally.
We'll throw in some B-roll here, because this is a slept-on accessory for the Switch and the Switch 2.
Well, it was wild. This is an accessory we got for the Wii U.
Yeah.
And then it works on the Switch. It works on the Switch 2. It's great to play it with OEM GameCube controllers for all the games.
Yep.
Don't play Strikers with it. I mean, you can, but you're going to get frustrated. I do like that. And then also, on top of that, we didn't even mention that the Switch 2 is backwards compatible.
Yeah.
So, like, that's really cool if you have a Switch 1 and you get a Switch 2. Or if you never got on a Switch and you get a Switch 2, then you can scoop up and get these Switch 1 games for cheap and be able to play them on your Switch 2. So I think that is a really cool thing. It's definitely still expensive, and I wouldn't say run out and get it if you're thinking about it, but I love it. I'm playing it all the time.
I still use my main Switch for anything that is Switch 1 for one primary reason, and it's the Hori split pad.
Oh, yes.
For handheld.
Yeah, we got these great freaking grips. And they are, when I'm playing like Tears, I jumped into Tears again. I'm playing it on my Switch 1 with the grips. Oh, dude, it is incredible.
I would rather have the smaller screen, but have the Hori split pad.
Yeah, the controller.
Than play with the bigger screen on the Switch 2 and have the Joy-Cons. But eventually, hopefully they release something like
eventually
that.
Hori, and like eventually there's going to be so many things for it. Like they're going to increase Mario Kart World. They're going to, there's going to be so many amazing games for it, just like the Switch 1.
Yeah.
Nintendo knows how to make amazing exclusives that are games that you can play whenever.
Yeah.
And games that you can play over a long period of time. Like freaking every console for Nintendo. Mario, NES, Super Mario World, Super Nintendo. Like people are still playing Mario Kart on the 64.
Yeah.
Like they make games that stand the test of time.
Yep.
And I don't think that's going to be any different for the Switch 2.
I don't
Mario Kart World is going to be played in 25 years.
Yep.
People are still going to have a blast with it. I'm loving it right now. This is a sick console.
Yeah, it's just fun to be in on the early. And, maybe our perspective's a little tilted because this is the first time we've ever had a launch console.
We are excited. But I'm playing it a ton.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I think to each their own. I don't think you ever need any console at launch, but having a great time with it.
Yeah, dude, it's so fun, and I'm super excited to see in a few years what the Switch 2, like what the library's like, what all the games are, and like if I start playing it more and more, Metro Prime 4, dude, that's gonna be that's gonna be
a big
so
one.
sick.
That will be a big one. Can't wait for it. But in the comment section below, what's been your experience so far with the Switch 2? Do you even have one yet?
Do you want one?
How long are you gonna wait till you get one if you don't have one? We'd love to hear it. But anyway, that's our initial thoughts on the Switch 2. Having a great time. Maybe not absolutely necessary to have one, but I think Nintendo's doing a good job.
Yeah, I think they're doing a great job.
Catch you guys on the next.